It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in cinema, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And we also have Murray, who I have no idea what he saw and what he didn't, but if I was a gambling man, I would bet that he only saw Shazam. Am I clairvoyant, Merman? Or did you see one of the other movies we are reviewing this week?
Maybe.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
You know what they say. Better to be maybe than have a baby.
That makes no sense.
It absolutely does. Thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or, even better for everyone involved, support and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/filmrageyyc. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film, and we will watch it if it's played anywhere in a cinema in the world. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor, Moneypenny.
Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
What's going on in my pants today?
Nobody cares.
I don't want to know.
I've got groovy pants. That's what I'm feeling.
Pants are grooving, are they?
My pants are grooving. And not just because someone pulled my finger.
Once again, you're making little sense to me.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about the insides of my bowel, which is a perfect segue to the first movie we saw.
Yeah, so we saw Inside.
My bowels.
No.
Just inside?
Just inside.
Okay.
Inside is the simple premise of a man who is in the process of robbing a penthouse of its art collection and gets trapped. With no way out and a thermostat that has him in either sweltering heat or freezing cold, we witness him try to escape while simultaneously trying to survive. Or maybe this film is not that at all. Maybe this is just one big series of art installations as Nemo, played by Willem Dafoe, creates on the walls and with sculpture, as well as various treasured pieces of art that decorate the dwelling. Or maybe it's just about a man who can slip into madness when placed in an extreme situation. Or maybe it is just an attempt to bring the Macarena back to the mainstream.
Exactly.
What I do know is it is a spectacle to behold, with a turn from Willem Dafoe that rivals his best performances. Inside is a head-on collision between art and madness. And I really don't want to go into it that much more detailed myself. I'm sure Jim will. But I think people just need to see this movie. Inside is Mondo.
Huh. I would have guessed that with that type of introduction.
I would have.
What? What are you talking about, Murray? That's so unpredictable.
Because there's a whole lot of nothing going on in the movie, and that's what Bryce likes.
What are you talking about? Wall to wall, something going on in this movie.
I want to just preface this with, I'm going to heaven on the hillside.
Yes.
I'm going to heaven on the hillside.
Going to heaven on the hillside.
I'm going to heaven on the hillside. I've said it many times before that for certain actors, I could watch a movie of them sitting on a toilet for 2 hours and be entertained if they are that good. This was what I was hoping this film was. Me watching Willem Dafoe on the toilet for an hour and 45 minutes. But no, this was not that film. It was an excuse in visual art and expression of one artist/man's devotion. Not on the toilet, but on a throne of awesomeness. There are parts in this where there are just shots of things you didn't even know were art.
Yep.
But the director, Vasilis Katsoupis, maybe?
Something like that.
Katsoupis.
I think you should
Thinking that might be Greek.
say it one more time.
Katsoupis.
That's perfect.
Perfect. Seems to make it so. I was captivated by Dafoe in this, not knowing what was going to happen and just embracing the unknowing and laughing at the Macarena, as Bryce has already alluded to, every single time the fridge opened, and felt for him as he descended into madness, hypothermia, heat exhaustion, and yet at the same time brought him and us to a level of artistic vision unmatched in cinematic art piece that I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah.
And when I say every time that I heard the Macarena, when it played the last time, it destroyed my soul to the point
singing?
that I laughed and laughed and
man.
laughed and laughed.
It did to you what it did to Dafoe.
That's right. I went insane, just like Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe, although who is no longer mesmerizing all the time,
Yep.
he can be exceptionally mesmerizing with the right project. This performance brings me back to his performance in, say, Antichrist, where Dafoe was at the absolute top of his game.
Yep.
And this time, he is again in another film with a perfect ending that also happens to be Mondo.
Yes.
And I have a feeling this was not the movie that Murray was expecting. And I have a feeling you might have seen this one.
Did you see this one, Murray?
Unfortunately, I did.
Unfortunately.
I didn't want to. After the 2.5 hour Shazam miss, I thought I'm pretty much done with today. But no, I got myself downtown and
Yes.
went through. I had to wait 20 minutes for my hot dog.
That was well worth the wait for that
I don't know
wiener.
what it was.
You know, that's one thing I expected to see in this movie before you started talking about Willem
well,
Dafoe,
you almost
is
did.
that I didn't get to see his wiener, and I almost expected. I said it. I predicted. I said it's going to get so hot, he's going to have to take off everything.
It took 45 minutes to see for him to take his shirt off, but yeah.
Well, we knew that
It
was
was
coming.
coming.
Yeah, of course. Thank God he did too.
Inside, or as I like to call it, Norman Osborn trapped in an empty condo with no food and pretentious artwork, going crazy as he tries to escape. That's the movie I saw.
Kinda.
Honestly, I was done with this film after 15 minutes. As mesmerizing as Willem Dafoe is, and I still consider him mesmerizing, I do not need to see him trapped in a fancy condo for 90 minutes. His performance aside, which was as good as always, I had so many problems with the plot of this film that it made me angry watching it.
Nice.
First off, in my former life as a crappy security guard, I worked in a few buildings like this one. There's no fucking way the front desk, the guards, wouldn't be monitoring the systems of that condo. Fire alarms, burglar alarms, come on. Second, the damn walkie-talkie in his hand. Yeah, it was a shortwave radio, but if he could talk to his partners, it certainly had range for other people. And let's not forget, security guards in buildings often carry radios. All he had to do was search the channels. He would have found somebody within 5 minutes. He didn't even try to call anybody else. Lazy writing. Seemed with every passing minute, something else that happened pissed me off. I really hate experimental crap like this, and I don't like artwork at all. Yeah, it was a rage. I wish I'd never gone.
Aw, Murray. Well, I'm going to counter everything you said about your security guard because he did not want to be caught.
Yeah, but he started a fire, so the alarm would go off.
Yeah, he started the fire so he could get out, but
eventually, because it's you got
and by
to
then,
that point where
yeah,
it's like,
and then the battery ran out in his.
But if the
his
fire alarm
walkie-talkie.
goes off, the building gets notified. That's the bottom
Yeah,
line.
but okay,
in
so
reality, that's what happens.
yeah, see, but here's the problem, Murray, is the person who designed that apartment designed it without the knowledge of the entire other building. It was built as a trap.
Yeah, well, I know.
So the security guard might not even have known what's going on in there.
Yep.
The other thing is, the guy had goldfish, and I counted at least 3 seasons that Dafoe was in this place. Who the hell was feeding his fish? Dafoe sure didn't feed his fish. They would have died after like 3 days.
3 seasons.
There was snow. There was fireworks for the 4th of July.
That could have been for the New Year's Eve.
No, it was. There was snow that it was like nice out. That wasn't like over the weekend. That was some time.
Well, definitely,
it definitely was
a
longer
week.
than that. Yeah.
But
even then,
but no, like
maybe it had an automatic fish feeder. It had an
No,
automatic water
I don't
feeder.
think it did. Anyway, no, I hated the movie.
All right.
Yeah.
I loved
Wish
it.
I'd never gone to it.
I think that I knew Murray. I was actually, as I was watching, I was going, I sure hope Murray doesn't choose this one, but
I was
chooses the other
like
one.
I was like so happy. It was like, yes, Murray's gonna go to this. He's gonna hate it. Yes.
You know me right. Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
it was-
I hated it.
It is, you know what I found? Like, there was just shots in this movie that were pieces of art.
Yeah. No.
Throughout the entire movie.
was-
Like,
yeah.
your comment about the art in this, and
Yeah.
see, whereas I love art.
I hate art.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And to me, there was like shots like where he would just be lying there and
Yeah,
you'd see
there
his
was
eye.
just so much to
or
look at.
you would see, like, even when he did take his shirt off and he was crumpled into a ball on the bed, the shot,
Yeah.
overhead shot of that, or the sticks that he'd broken
Yeah.
on the ground that had made an art piece. Like, it was
Yeah.
really, truly, you know what? Murray, to your point, it is not a movie that I think a lot of mainstream
it's
film
not for
goers
the
are going
average
to like.
moviegoer. No, they're gonna hate it like I
It's definitely an art piece. It was definitely made for Bryce and I,
And it was definitely Mondo.
and it was definitely Mondo to
do.
me
You guys
too.
liked it.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Murray? That's the benefit of being Film Rage. We can't love everything. Right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Lately, I'm loving nothing.
You know what, Murray? This is your time to say it.
What?
What's he gonna say?
What have you been
Oh.
saying all night?
I don't know.
Put your sorries in a sack. He's literally said that 72 times
Before we even
before we even started. Yeah, you literally had a perfect setup. Murray, put your sorries in the sack.
I don't know what's going on.
So the other movie that I don't think Murray saw,
No, I didn't. I should have gone to that one instead.
you probably would have liked this one a little bit better. What do you think, Bryce?
He would have liked it a little bit better, but he still would not have liked it.
Okay.
You know what? Maybe he would have. Maybe he would have
This might
shocked
have
the
been
heck out of me.
he might have thought this was the best movie he's seen this week.
Yeah.
So we saw a movie called Brother, which is actually a Canadian production that takes place in one of the suburbs of Toronto called Scarborough. This is the story of a mom and her 2 sons, told through snippets of time that moved forward and backwards through their lives, which normally would annoy me all to hell. But in this, I actually didn't mind it that much because the characters were so deep and refreshing that even movement back and forth in time did not bother me. So what is that going to tell you? The acting in this is truly what stood out most of this film. The actor playing Michael, Lamar Johnson, was probably the most incredible young actor I've seen in, I would say, years. Like, I've yet to see anybody with his caliber of acting that I've seen in so long for his age.
Yep.
But also, almost as equal was Aaron Pierre playing Francis. This story moves fairly fluidly, and the love that the immigrant mom from Jamaica has for her sons as a hardworking single mom is very evident, as is the love the brothers have for each other. It's not very often I say this also, but the way that they bring in the LGBTQ portion into this film is done so absolutely perfectly and is not made as a box to tick, but as an integral part of one of the characters, yet you don't realize how important it is until that moment in the movie happens. It's so subtle and so amazingly done and so brilliant that this director has brought the LGBT community in a story. And I remember Bryce and I watching this in cinemas, and we're like, because even before we go, and he goes, yeah, this is a story about these two young black brothers who, you know, one of them's gay. And I'm like, we're almost, you know, we're watching the movie, and I'm like, when's the gay gonna happen? I'm missing the gay.
I was trying to figure out how I even knew that, because I kind of looked at some stuff, and it's not obvious from the trailers. It's not like, why did I have this inkling that I think? But I was right, and I'm trying to figure out why
I know
was
nothing
right.
else about this movie, but I did hear something about gay.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were actually brothers. They were just two
Two lovers?
and two lovers.
Yeah.
And they were gay. I didn't know they were actually related, but I did hear something about there was a gay aspect
which is
to
so
it.
interesting. So many times filmmakers force into a story or make it a big deal, but here it is so subtle, and if you blinked, you might actually miss it. But it does so much to explain so much that is not said earlier in this film. There was so much good in this film. I really thought this was exceptionally written. Where I had some issues was it was a little bit too long. After they did such an amazing job developing the characters of everyone, but I kind of felt at times that because the film takes place in a poor neighborhood, they seemed like this part of the movie they did have to kind of tick boxes for. And that kind of felt a little bit out of place for the story that was being told, in my opinion. For example, they have a shooting scene, which to me didn't feel like it was really needed to push the story along for the development of the characters.
I was okay with it. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying that it bothered me enough to affect my emotions of it, but to me it was like, did it have to be there? It didn't. That part didn't necessarily have to be there. I left the cinemas feeling that the length was a drawback, and some of that box ticking that I'm mentioning also kind of took a little bit away from it. But then, the more I sat with this film and how I felt about everything, and I processed the film again and again through my mind, and in fact, to this moment, I'm still thinking about it. It really was an amazing Canadian film that had an amazing, robust development of the entire cast of characters, even the very small characters that are in this. You know everything about them, from what they're wearing to how they're acting to what they're doing. The length, although a little long and extended, did not change how impressed I was that these amazing actors and the story that was spun. I fell in love with these characters so much so that I was originally going to give this a high meh, but no, after sitting with it and the love of these characters, it was a mondo.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. I think everybody should see this movie.
So, I don't know that I should even do my review now, because it just kind of sounds like yours.
Bryce goes, I hated it. No. I wish Murray saw this. He would have liked it.
So yeah, set in Scarborough, suburb of Toronto, in 1991. Brother tells a story.
I didn't say that.
Where's Toronto?
That is in Canada.
It's in the east part of Canada.
Is that on the East Coast somewhere?
No, not quite there.
You went too far.
Well, too far. Back it up a little bit. It's right beside Quebec. Yeah, it's close to Quebec.
Closer. You're closer.
Getting warmer, Doc. Getting warmer.
But they don't speak French there. Well,
that's right.
Some people
do.
Yeah, but not as many.
Mais oui.
So Brother tells the story of Francis and Michael. The film jumps from their earlier childhood to the present and in between as seamlessly as any film I have seen. We are along for the journey as we witness poignant moments in both of their lives. We get a feel for the community where they live. It is a film about the bond that can exist between brothers. It explores various themes, including identity and masculinity. It is extremely well acted. Aaron Pierre as Francis and Marcia Stephanie Blake as Ruth, the boy's mom, are so good in this. But the young Canadian actor from Toronto, Lamar Johnson, puts in a performance that should have casting directors lining up, trying to get this talent in their next project. His performance is understated and powerful as we witness him go through more than any teenage boy should have to. Watching his expression and body language told us all we needed to know. Every time he was on screen got me excited for this young man's future in film. I left this film and my initial thought was that it could have been edited shorter, but as I digest what I have seen
right now?
I actually have a little different spin on it though.
No,
as I digest what I've seen, I actually can't imagine what I would have cut out, because I wouldn't have cut out that scene with the shooting scene, and I wouldn't, like, there was so much in there that I was like, oh wait. But after it kind of sat with me for a while, I'm like, you know what? No, I wouldn't have cut any of that out. The film has not left me since I saw it. It is beautifully shot and even more beautifully acted. Kudos to director Clement Virgo for bringing such a poignant story to the big screen. What I'm saying is this was Mondo.
That even gets a triple.
That's
a 2.5. There's only 2.5. So, okay, I'm not saying they had to cut it.
Yes.
I'm saying
I wouldn't have either,
it wouldn't have changed the film if they cut that scene.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have done, like, it to me it didn't add or subtract.
And you know what? And
but here's my argument.
Part of what I do, and I hate that I do it.
Me too, actually. But
is every time there's a Canadian film, I am so much harder on it.
Yeah.
Than if it's made anywhere else.
So
and I don't know why I am, but I just am. But you know what? If I'm looking through this from an objective eye and I'm looking at this like any other, like if this was made in Japan or
New York
Portugal or New York, or,
yeah.
It would have been Mondo, and I wouldn't have been picking it apart quite as much as I did. And there's really nothing to pick apart.
No.
I'm being overly critical, and I don't need to be. This is a great movie that everybody should see, and probably one of the best Canadian films in the last few years, honestly.
Yeah, next to Crimes of the Future, which is technically a Greek film.
And that's the whole thing. I mean, this was more...
And Brandon Cronenberg's.
And I should count the Cronenberg movies as Canadian, and they are to a certain extent. But there's so much more. They weren't shot in Canada, and there's so many more Canadian actors in this than there were.
Yeah.
So they are Canadian films, but this is a real Canadian
film. Yeah.
Shot in Canada.
We don't get that very often.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
And of this quality, just so good.
Yeah. This film, I think, is beyond any quality of Canadian film. That takes place in Canada, that is made with Canadian actors. It's so amazing. People should see this. Now, I don't know if this was technically released in 2022.
I'm not.
Or if it just was released in 2023, because I think it played TIFF or SIFF last year.
I mean, well, just like any
TIFF.
film, if it's doing the festival circuit, that doesn't really count until it actually gets a widespread release.
Okay, because I'm curious about that, because in my opinion, again, not to throw Murray's Oscars under the, but if he, after seeing this, if he doesn't win the Oscar for the best lead in any movie that's ever been made ever, then that just proves to me again that the Oscars are a sham.
Yeah, Lamar Johnson is wow. Just
you realize we have our own version, right?
Yeah, but I'm still talking about, don't fluff me up with this stupid Oscars.
Just saying.
Yeah, well,
we have our own film awards. We don't need the Oscars.
We don't need any film awards, but that's aside from this. The fact that, like, You could like Murray. You could literally see everything in this kid's face.
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Like, I'm just blown away.
Yeah.
People go find this movie wherever you are in the world. Go see Brother. It's delicious. So, Murray's going to talk about Shazam.
Oh, is there another movie coming out this week?
No, another movie. We're talking about Shazam.
Fury of the Gods.
Never heard of it.
Shazam.
Fury of the Gods.
What did you see, Murray? Did you see Shazam?
Fury of the Gods.
This film continues the story of teenager Billy Batson, who upon reciting the magic word
Shazam! Oh, thank you. Sorry.
is transformed into his adult superhero alter ego, Shazam, who apparently doesn't have a name, though we all know that's what his name is, but whatever. At the end of the last film, he gave superpowers to all of the misfits in his group home. So basically, they're a team of crime fighters now. We're actually children.
Yep.
The daughters of Atlas, whose powers Billy now has, are pissed off and want them back.
Yes, they do.
And that's basically all you need to know about this film.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
I'm on the side with the gods with this one. Billy and his ragtag group of children do not deserve those powers.
What?
And judging by how often they screwed up trying to help people, they're clearly not mature enough for responsibility.
Darla totally deserves those powers.
They need to be schooled by a certain web slinger named Peter about responsibility.
Eugene.
What are you
deserves
talking
powers,
about?
too.
Peter's the most irresponsible. That's why Captain Iron Man had to take away his super suit because he was douching around with it
But
on
he
the
saved the
everywhere he
world.
went.
Oh,
Save the
Cap-
world.
and he doesn't
Captain Iron Man's
and
my
he doesn't have the
favorite.
powers of Superman, so he's just a guy. But
Sorry,
yeah.
go back to you were saying about Shazam.
Yeah. For much of the film, it's these goofballs having fun without any consequences. And then we have
What's wrong with having fun?
Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, and that girl from West Side Story as the three sisters. Apparently age is not really an issue, because 77 and 54 and 21
Yeah.
is perfectly fine for siblings.
Yeah, their dad was like super
Of course,
old. He was
in
having
the movie,
kids at
they're
different.
like-
Exactly.
they're like 1,000 years old.
Exactly. There's ball with
Some of them
years old.
age worse than others.
Horrible casting. She should be on the.
What are
she should
you talking about?
She should be on our daughter list already. and
That's
she's
the only
done
thing they
2
got
movies.
right was the casting.
DC is a ship that's sinking fast, and I'm grabbing a lifeboat before they're all gone.
I'll take DC over Marvel any day.
Hey, let's hear what he has to say.
Black Adam,
Okay.
The
yeah.
Bat-
that was
yeah,
bad.
that was
the
terrible.
Batman,
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that
was
was
terrible.
excellent.
That was
Wonder Woman 1984,
that was terrible.
Birds of Prey, and
okay.
even the
It was
last
alright.
Suicide Squad.
That was
It was
awesome.
good.
That was Mondo.
Changed my mind on that one.
What? Num.
Only reason I'm watching the new Flash movie is because of OG Batman Michael Keaton, and then I'm out.
You mean, but
I don't give a crap about what's coming after that. There's a movie called The Blue Beetle coming up. What the hell is a Blue Beetle?
I hope it has the
it's gonna
polka
be-
dot
it's gonna
guy
be
because he's
excellent.
awesome.
He is awesome.
No, he's in Marvel now. He's,
What?
Yeah, the polka,
Oh, yeah,
the polka
that's
dot
right.
guy is the jelly guy.
The holy guy
Same guy.
that had 5 holes to stick
Yeah,
things
the guy
in.
had no holes.
I don't know what's going on right now.
There was so much bad in this film. So much. There was just one thing I liked.
Okay.
The King of Beasts.
The king of
Taste the rainbow, bitches.
That's not the line, but I'm going to give it to you later.
Shazam. And this film turns into a rage.
What?
You love superhero
I'm
movies.
done with them. I'm totally done with them.
Huh.
What? This. Are we living in an upside down world right now? Or what's that thing when you have opposite day? Is that what's happening right now?
All right, so Shazam: Fury of the Gods was a superhero movie.
which is usually for you as a man.
There were CGI unicorns and
Yes.
CGI dragons and
Yes.
CGI ogres.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu were CGI as well.
Yes.
We had the redundant bridge scene that seems to pop up in every superhero movie where
Yes.
the bridge collapses, but everyone seems to survive thanks to the efforts of our team of young champions. It was a DC movie, and there was no Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, a.k.a. the best Batman of them all, so that was disappointing. But there was a lot of CGI. It has lost some of the charm of the first Shazam, but, that's to be expected.
Yes, of course.
And there was a lot of CGI.
So you were saying that this movie was basically CGI?
There's a lot of CGI. So, having said that, there was just enough mildly amusing sequences, and Darla and Eugene kind of make me smile for some reason. So I guess even though it should have, it did not make me rage. I love Darla. She's the best.
She's
And
literally...
Eugene's awesome.
Who's Darla? I don't even know which one that is.
This was a superhero man because of Darla and Eugene.
He doesn't even remember all the kids' names.
I don't give a crap about
Ugh,
his name.
he's so
Hey, Murray,
anti-Shazam.
put your sorries in a sack.
You know what? This is opposite day. Like, since when does Murray start handing out rages like candy? This is like the best day of my life right now.
I was gonna hand it a rage, but I just couldn't because I smiled too much whenever
the whole,
Darla was
like,
on screen.
Sweet family crap made me almost throw up
Too
some popcorn.
sugary
It
barf.
was
Well,
fine.
see, I must have saw a different movie than the two of you. Absolutely.
All right.
Because we already know it should be a rage because every superhero movie I've seen in the last 5 years has pretty much been one.
Yep.
As with most superhero films, Shazam is a CGI fest of epic proportions, as Bryce has already alluded to.
There was a lot of CGI.
There was so much CGI. And to be honest, the quality in it was not as good as the CGI fest we saw recently with the absolutely mesmerizing Adam Driver, the flick 65. Because that CGI, although it was 100% CGI, was fantastic CGI. Shazam!
Yeah.
Fury of the Gods.
Fury of the
What is
Gods.
wrong with you, by the way?
I'm not on the
I've been setting you up all night. You have not been hitting anything out of the park.
Fury of the Gods.
Put your sorries on the side. Just saying, the CGI was not even that great. In addition to that, the film has some convenient scenes that at times make you think, really? Then you realize, oh yeah, it's a superhero film. And then there are the awkward, very awkward, and unnecessary love stories. But then we also got Steve and Dame Helen Mirren, who is menacing. And an actual story, Murray. This had a story where villains, from the moment they arrive, motherfucking kill people that annoy them, or just for no apparent reason. Not once in a Marvel movie did the villain show up and just start motherfucking killing people, other than that one with what's his face.
They murder a whole museum.
They murder everybody, and just for fun, they kick one over that they turn to stone, so that there's no possible way of reversing that shit.
Which gave them so much joy.
It did give them so much joy. So
As
the fact
murdering shit.
as murdering villains should absolutely do every single solitary time, where the humor is mostly funny.
Yep.
And creative characters you care about. And the music was also funny and also poignant. Did I mention it was funny?
You did.
I didn't say CGI twice, but I said funny twice.
Yes.
Just like the last Shazam, it was funny. And also, like the last Shazam, the trailer looked completely awful.
Yeah.
And for a movie that has killer motherfucking unicorns, or is what Murray called them.
Taste the rainbow, bitches.
No, what would you call it? Kings of
the Beast.
There you go.
That's what they
Kings
call
of
them
the
in the movie.
Beasts that eat Skittles.
It's the one thing that everyone's afraid of, apparently.
I am absolutely on side with unicorns that kill people.
I know you would be.
But mostly because of the war cry. that is Taste the Rainbow, motherfuckers, had me cheering to the screen at the top of my lungs so much that my wife slapped me and said, "Sit down. This is not appropriate." I fully enjoyed the CGI superhero film that was funny, and also it was fun. But it's a superhero film. And it did have flaws.
It did.
But not so many to make me not hate it. But I did like it.
Yeah.
So it's a meh.
It's a meh.
And the post-credit scenes were also awesome. Apparently, DC still knows how to make superhero films that don't make me rage.
Yep.
Did you hear that, DC and Marvel? Marvel and Disney,
They're listening.
the DC know how to kill people.
Yes.
Be funny
Yes.
and don't create force-like powers. Because guess what? They use them to their fullest every time. They don't just go, "Oh yeah, now I don't have this power." They used it
I
every
forgot I
time to
had
kill
it.
people.
Yep.
To kill people all the time.
Yes.
But also, Disney and
Yes.
MCU, taste the rainbow, motherfuckers.
There you go.
See, there's where you and I differ.
You don't like
This is
unicorns
the,
that kill
this is
people?
the love that. That was more of that. It would have been awesome.
What,
that
more
was, that was
Rambos?
at the end.
They were killing everybody.
This is the first superhero movie that I have ever been to where I did not. I actually walked out during the end credits. scene.
What? You didn't even want to see the end?
Because I looked up while the credits were rolling what it was about.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm not watching this shit.
Aw.
I had not seen one episode of Peacemaker. I don't give a crap about those characters.
Oh, yeah.
And it just, I read about it before it happened, and it just sounded so stupid. I'm like, I'm not sticking around for this.
You know,
20 minutes of credits to watch this crap.
that was so worth
So
it.
I actually walked out
Murray,
as soon as the credits rolled.
probably you had to go pee, though, right?
DC,
No, I
baby.
DC, baby. Yeah.
You used to like DC.
Yeah. I still like
By the way, Bryce, Ben Affleck, done as Batman. Thank you, Mr. Gunn.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Way to go, Gun.
He is
and I
never
thought-
going to be
and I
Batman. He's never going to direct or produce a DC film. Again, he said that.
Whoa. Gun said that?
No, Affleck did.
Oh. He's better than that
they're
now.
redoing. They're basically throwing all the other cast out in the trash.
Yeah, no, that's
starting fresh.
They're not throwing out the trash.
Yeah, no,
but
they are.
They're starting.
So is
he's
Pattinson
starting
now gonna be the
over.
new
As I
Batman?
totally
I don't know.
understand.
I don't know what's happening with that one.
Pattinson probably won't be because
No,
he wants to start over. He
I think
literally
he's
wants
done.
to start
Yeah,
over.
He wants to start over with
Which
everything.
makes no sense because the Flash seems to be coming out to
Yeah,
like, tie
it's
things
bridging.
together, and I think that might just die. Whatever happens at the end of the Flash, everything might just die and it starts over again.
You know what? I have to admit, like, with Murray, that they can all just die. I fucking care
I'm
less.
done.
The fact that I actually like this was a bonus for me, but still a super.
That's also where we differ. I hated the first one,
No, I like Shazam.
and I actually love Zachary Levi.
Yeah, I don't even know who he is.
I liked him
He's
in
Shazam!
I liked him in the Marvel universe.
I
till
know
he
he
got
was.
killed.
I know he's Shazam, but what else has he done? I don't know. I don't know this guy.
He's done Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
He was also in like 2 different Thor movies till he died.
There you go.
What was he in the Thor movies?
He was the Robin Hood guy.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know what his name was.
What else has he done?
Well, he did the Kurt Warner story, which is my favorite
Oh
quarterback
yeah,
of all time.
that was an awful movie, and he was terrible in it. What else has he done?
Was he not Chuck?
Yeah, was he not? I don't know.
Was he
Who's
Chuck?
Who's Chuck?
I'm pretty sure he was Chuck.
Okay,
Anyway,
I don't
like
know.
him.
I don't know
I
what
like
that
him as
is.
an actor, but yeah, I hated this movie.
This movie was.
I was sick of watching
I liked it.
children dressed up as superheroes.
I enjoyed that.
And
too.
I think
liked
Helen Mirren had a
was
couple
funny.
of good lines in there where, yeah, you're like, you're children making up, make believing you're adults or something. crap like that.
CGI Helen
nice.
Mirren.
Yeah, CGI.
Yeah,
Helen.
CGI.
CGI.
But
Lucy Liu.
77-year-old
Aren't you-
Helen Mirren kicking his ass.
Yes.
Aren't you normally a big Lucy Liu fan though, Murray?
She's okay.
Thought you could have
she
kept
was,
it together
she was
for
pretty
her.
badass in this, but predictable.
She kicked a lot of dicks. I love that
He did
about
a
her.
lot more than that.
Yep. Huh,
Yeah.
interesting. Who knew?
Yeah, I knew I wouldn't like it from as soon as it came
This
out.
is-
Ah,
this is
so
a-
this is another one you decided going in.
No,
that
I
you
knew
weren't
I
gonna
wouldn't
like
like
it.
it.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I thought it'd be a little more grown up. Like Billy Batson, he's like 17, about to turn 18. He still acts like a 12-year-old.
Because he's an idiot.
Well, apparently he's an idiot, which is the problem I have.
12-year-old.
Yeah, he does.
I might side with Murray
He
on
has
this
no
one.
responsibility in life.
You know, the two of you can both put your sorries in a sack.
Put your sorries in a sack.
Anyway, yeah, no, I hated it.
Nice. We didn't get the name Film Rage for nothing.
That's right.
That's all we saw.
Yeah, well, that was enough.
Nice.
Temperature rising.
Whoops.
Vision blurring.
We're going to switch things up today.
Rage
Apparently we are.
taking over.
I had so much rage I couldn't contain it. So
Yeah, we should really
let
have.
you guys start.
Oh, baby, my sweet rage has been percolating for a while. Sweet, sweet rage.
Yeah, you even have a rage? You modeled everything.
No, I didn't. I gave a meh to Shazam.
As did I. We agreed completely, by the way.
What is going on
That's
right
my
now?
rage.
That's my. You know what?
You just keep on
I was going to
copying
have a
me.
different rage, but because you keep copying me,
You keep copying me.
you put your sorries.
You put your sorries in a sack.
I work with children.
You know what? My rage this week was I went and saw Shazam at the cinemas on a Friday.
Bad idea.
Yeah, there was still nobody in the cinema.
Really?
Yes. I'm like, my rage, I know this is usually Bryce's rage, but like, I spent as much money as humanly possible at a movie theater. Like, I bought like I think there was a Minion stuffed animal because I'm like, if I don't start spending money here, Bryce and Murray and I are the only ones in the world going to movie theaters to see movies these days. So if we don't do that, no one is gonna, like, these movies just are not going, like, movie theaters aren't gonna make it, and then the entire movie industry is gonna collapse in on itself if I don't buy a Minion stuffed animal, which I don't even like. And I bought like some kind of collector cup that I instantly threw into the recycling bin. I paid extra $5 for it. And then on top of that, I bought something else. Like I'm like, Monique, what is that? She's like, I don't know, but it's $7. And I'm like, okay, let's buy it.
There you go.
And then on top of that, we got like the extra size
Yeah.
combo pack, which, you know, back in the day might be $30, but I think it was $74 that I got 2 large drinks, 2 large popcorns,
That's
2 large candy, a handy J, and somebody stuck something in my ass when I walked away. But for $72, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
So
it's not bad at all. As long as the handy J brought you to climax.
I'm sure all the minimum wage employees there, thank you.
they did, and they were all really sweet. But you know what? Like, I'm angry at the world right now. Every single one of you people that are listening, if you're not seeing a movie
Go to
at the
the
cinema
movies.
this week, you're going to be on my hit list. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't have that problem. I went on Tuesday afternoon and it was empty till basically the movie was about to start. Then it filled up like completely, and there was this family with a bratty little 7-year-old
Perfect.
right behind me.
To Shazam? Sorry,
Yeah.
Shazam!
Yeah, well, it wasn't the other one.
Fury of
okay.
the Gods.
So yeah, no, I had plenty of people in my theater on a 4 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon.
But there was
So-
lots of kids. That's the important
No,
thing.
not a lot of kids, just the one noisy one.
Did the one noisy one like it when she said, "Taste the rainbow, motherfucker"?
I doubt he even paid attention to the movie.
Oh, okay.
He never shut up the whole time.
So that's my rage this week, other than Bryce stopped copying me.
There you go.
You stop copying me.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. Stop.
Stop it.
If you don't stop fighting, I'm going to turn this car around.
Can you paddle us too?
My rage this week is that I pay $9.99 a month for a CineClub membership from Cineplex, one of our movie theater chains in Canada. With this membership, I can get movie tickets for $9.99, but only if I purchase them online. What kind of
Thank
crap
you.
is that? So if I just decide to show up to go to a movie, I cannot get the discount unless I bought my ticket ahead of time on my
Thank you.
computer at home. Why are they alienating those of us that do not have a fancy walking around phone? That is poopy.
Or the
That
internet.
is my rage.
What about those
Or
old
the
people?
interwebs.
Yeah, the old people don't have interwebs. How are they going to get tickets?
The old people don't go to the movies, Murray.
Yes, they do.
Oh, they only go see 80 for Brady.
Yes,
What was that other
yes,
old
they do.
person movie
Man,
that
that
we
was-
saw?
And they go to Liam
That
Neeson
was
movies.
such
Oh,
a-
they went
such
to
an
A Man
enjoyment
Called
experience.
Otto. That's
There
what they
you
go
go.
see. And you know what? So none of them are Cineclub holders. So they only care about the tweens or the alpha. There's some new
Anyways,
generation.
I gotta remember when I get up Monday morning because we're going to the movies at night. I need to
Buy your
just
tickets
buy
ahead of
all my tickets
You can
ahead of
just
time, and
You can just
then,
buy it
then
tonight.
I gotta email them to you
Do you want to pause
so that you can bring them up on your fancy walking around
Do you
phone.
want to pause the podcast and you can buy them right now?
Go for it.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I want to be able to just
We
walk
could.
up to the kiosk and buy a
Nobody would
flipping
know.
ticket for a discounted price because I pay $9.99 a month.
No one would know. Watch. Okay, everybody, we're just gonna take a break
We're
here.
not gonna just put your sorries in a sack.
That you know the best thing about that story, Murray, is that I brought it to him. We actually literally had a fight in the cinemas about who was right.
About
And so I called Cineplex while we were
Yeah,
in
but
the-
you got
while we were
someone
in
that
the
didn't.
cinema. It's true. But then in between movies, we went and talked to the people at the concession. And they're like, yeah, I'm right, which I usually am. And they said that, yeah, you have to do it online. And then Bryce lost his shit. He was like, what?
See, I would have enjoyed being there for that because I would
Yeah,
have.
that was worth the price of
would have been
admission.
there with him, and there would have been 2 against however many. And
But then his stupidity and lack of walking around phones caused me to lose $3
You know
in
what?
credit on his debt he owes me.
I have a walking around phone. I 100% completely agree with Bryce, which I know is a surprise for you to hear.
And that's a perfect moment
And
to
which is the
segue.
reason why I don't have a Cineclub card. I have a Landmark card, which allows you to buy them at the cinema.
I have both.
I do not.
I do too.
And I would probably never get a Cineclub card because I paid $8 for a movie yesterday, which is cheaper than your Cineclub. So there.
But then he paid full price for his popcorn.
That's true.
Sucker.
Oh no. Heaven forbid, an extra $1.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
All right.
Murray's hot on the buttons today.
I'm just angry. I'm angry at the world.
Well, I can't wait to hear what the Murman Minute has to
this
tell us.
This is not going to be calming, that's for sure.
What?
And it's also going to be short. Probably should have done it at the end of the last one. What the hell has happened to Dame Helen Mirren?
She's making
I think she
superhero movies.
contracted the same thing that James Caan had.
Uh-oh.
Starring in bad movies just for the money.
Uh-oh. Wait, are you making a Merman's Helen Mirren rage films?
Oh, I am.
Oh, my God.
She's 77 now.
Nice.
Time to stop kicking ass on screen. Only Liam Neeson is allowed to do that.
Apparently. Yeah.
Since she won her Oscar in 2006, her movie credits included National Treasure 2,
Yeah, that is a number 2 for sure.
Red, which I actually liked,
Yeah, me too.
Red 2, which was terrible,
It was not as good as one.
Arthur, the remake,
Mm,
Eye in the Sky, and 4 different Fast and Furious movies,
holy cow.
including the new one.
Murray, you know what? We might have to talk about her on the
And
list.
now Shazam. She hasn't had a movie ranked above 7 on IMDb in the last 12 years.
Oh, Murray.
I did enjoy The Duke. That's about it lately. She's lucky the new king doesn't take away her damehood for all the crap she's been in. Okay, that's all I got.
That's literally
That's all
the
I
most... This is the biggest rage episode for the Merman.
Yeah, I'm just raging about everything right
Yeah,
now.
you-
I need to see a good movie.
That's right. You need to see John Wick 4 next week.
You did see a good movie.
No, I did not.
He saw, he saw.
So Inside.
That's right.
No, I did not.
And you saw a good movie that was Shazam.
And Shazam.
No.
Well, unfortunately, Helen Mirren can't be doubted because, as Murray had alluded to, she did The Duke. So, which was, I believe, a mondo for me and Murray. But I think it was a meh.
I don't think he loved it.
He gave it a meh.
I think I gave it a meh.
Yeah. So, because we gave it a mondo, she can't be doubted. So, but what we did see, thanks to Murray's fabulous suggestion from last week, was we got to see Alan Rickman versus Bill Nighy, the acting guy, in a movie called Blow Dry.
Yep.
Did you get to see that one, Mur? You did not. Well, I mean, to me it was so obvious, so if you pick the wrong person, then I'm going to be like, you are not only silly for not having a walking around phone, but you're a complete moron.
I'm going with Bill Nighy, the acting guy.
Yeah, it's completely obvious. He was extremely mesmerizing in this,
as he always
is. And Alan Rickman was flat.
Yep.
Like to me, watching Alan Rickman play the character was almost like, I know he was supposed to be a little downtrodden, but he just does his typical Alan Rickman.
He just
I'm a little.
He sleptwalked through this.
He slept, But you know what? I actually didn't hate the movie. I seem to remember not liking it as much the last time I saw it when it first came out.
I liked it about as much as I did the first time.
It was meh.
Barely meh.
It was barely meh.
It wasn't a rage.
It wasn't a rage, but it was. For those of you who haven't seen it, which is actually quite surprising, that it is a movie about hairdressers that all the characters are straight, which was a little surprising. So
there you go.
But it was it was meh.
There we go.
And looks like we just lost Alan Rickman.
All right.
Rest in peace.
Kind of sad.
Well, color me disappointed. Now I cannot match up Alan Rickman with Justin Long.
Oh, no!
Galaxy Quest.
Oh, that would have been.
I was going to make you watch that.
Thank goodness.
I love Galaxy Quest.
Man, did I dodge a bullet there.
I was going to make you watch that because I love that movie.
So do I. I love that
and
movie.
they're actually both in it. Well, I guess Rickman's in it for a little bit more. But
and Sam Rockwell. Isn't Sam Rockwell? Did he get punted?
You took him off.
Like, how could I take him off by myself? I don't have that power.
So I guess Justin Long.
Yeah, you did.
Why did I take him off by myself?
Because you did some... Anyways, doesn't matter.
So what are we going to see next week, Mur?
All right. Well, I got another one for you. Just randomly picking here.
Oh, yeah. I love it when you finger the paper.
How about Forrest Whitaker?
Yes.
Who I have down here 5 times, by the way.
What? Oh, nice.
Because he's in movies with other people on this list. 5 different movies.
Nice.
How about Michael Stahlberg?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Who I know from Fargo, but you guys don't. In Arrival.
Oh, wow.
Oh, not Arrival.
Yes,
What are you talking
Arrival. They're both in it, and they're both right beside each other.
Is that the Charlie Sheen movie?
No.
It's Denis Villeneuve. It's a mondo, dude.
Isn't it?
What's the Charlie Sheen movie?
I don't know. Who cares?
Isn't it called Arrival?
Yeah, but Michael Stuhlbarg and Forrest Whitaker aren't in that one.
This is about aliens, and I'm pretty sure
He knows which one it is.
That's the Charlie Sheen movie.
No, it's not.
I don't think
That's
it's in
The Arrival. This is Arrival. The changes everything.
Yes. The makes it work.
Just like Cyndi
confused.
Lauper once said, money changes everything, but in this case, it's the changes everything.
Money changes everything.
Yeah, the, which is also a band, changes everything. This is awesome, Murray. I love Denis Villeneuve movies.
All right.
Versus Michael Stuhlbarg. Stuhlbarg. That's it. I think that's all we got.
That's all you got?
That's all we got this week.
That's all we're doing?
That's all we're doing. We got nothing else to talk about. Unless we put forward,
let's just move
he's
on.
only one person, so we can't
just
really...
Stop.
Stop. In the name of love?
This is going to be like a 6-hour episode.
Yeah, so what's wrong with that? We can do whatever we want.
Welcome to the podcast that wouldn't die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
What up? What up?
Each week, we'll explore the classics of the horror and sci-fi genre with a little comedic twist.
We will ask those important questions like, why don't they get out of the haunted house the first time they see the ghost or the demon?
Why do people feel like, hey, there's been a spooky disappearance, but I'm going to investigate myself, even though I have no investigative background?
Or, why didn't I realize I was dead the whole time?
These important questions and many others we will get to the bottom of. So check us out each week at the podcast that wouldn't die.
Be there or be square.
Faux chisel.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Jim folded like a piece of origami just like Lil B. Bryce did the week before. Lil B. Baby Boy Jim doesn't have the same alliteration. I'll have to think of some other nickname for him. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. I'll workshop some names, get a few focus groups in here. Anyway, Jim chose to go to the safety of our listener dare bag. Or as Lil B. Baby Boy Bryce calls it, the meh bag. And yet he wasn't so meh about the whole 10 yards. Were you, B. Baby Boy Bryce? Were you? Were you? This week, apparently both of my little ones will get to choose to Casey or Dare. Something tells me the babies will be crawling back into the our listeners' dare bag. And that's fine by me, because the next time they choose, they have no options left. They will fall at the feet of their god of rage. And what will I have in store for them then? We shall see. Now, let's check in with Jim and see if Thunderbirds are a go, or, as we're all hoping, Thunderbirds are no.
I love that man. I love him more than my own children. Hope my kids don't listen to this. So, I could complain about the fact that this was a movie where the star is a 15-year-old boy who may or may not be playing a 13-year-old boy. So, yeah, I could be complaining about that. But let's pretend he's playing a 15-year-old boy, because then it qualifies for movies that we have to see. Remember? They got to be in high school. And I'm not convinced he was in high school.
Yeah, but no.
Because he's literally...
It's not just about him, though.
No, it is all about him.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, it's all about him. Because he's literally twice as tall as every single one of his friends that is going to the same school as him. So, yeah, it's like... And I looked it up. He was actually 15 years old in it, which means he would have been in high school. But he seems to be playing like he's like in junior high because he's a complete moron. But that's just aside from the point.
All right.
Yeah, so I never watched Thunderbirds in cartoon form or any other iteration. Well, suffice to say, although this was a live action...
puppets?
Yeah, there was like marionettes back in the early, like the 60s or whatever. Well, suffice to say, this was a live action portrayal. It really felt very cartoony with the whole movie, which had over-the-top terrible acting and the cartoon sound effects, and how everything our young Allan Tracy, our hero, is excited about is pretty much everything. But where everything is everything less than exciting, it actually was not everything Allan Tracy. And because I've never seen anything Thunderbirds before, I had no idea about any of the characters, who they never explain who they are, but apparently they all live in a commune together away from everyone else, where they are on a private island. They are mostly all men, young men. So I'm wondering, are all these young throbbing men not have any urges except riding around in spaceships? So I'm kind of like, what exactly was this movie? I was a little dumbfounded, to say the least. Yeah, the story is kind of like every other bratty rebel dummy wanting to grow up. No one dies in situations where everybody should die, including an explosion in space that would have collapsed the entire space station. The CGI is old and terrible, where the sets are made from high quality. What's the word that's not quality? Crap. That's the word, Mary. TV quality crap. The acting is not urgent or any good, except for the awesome henchman, Diobia Opare, and Ben Kingsley is even flat.
Really?
And Murray, I need you to plug your ears right now. Hold on, I'll wait. Just plug your ears.
I'm okay with it.
Okay, I don't think you can take this, Murray.
Sure.
Yeah, Bill Paxton was embarrassingly bad. The premise is very cartoon focused, where bad guys take over the good guys' island, where they are away rescuing the eldest Thunderbird from space. But Thunderbirds/Thunder Kids get to save the day, like most movies made for children. And who is this pink rich lady with her filthy richness and appears to be comfortable with her nudity in front of her hired servants, and why she isn't one of the Thunderbirds' friends with benefits made no sense to me, because if she was, you'd never know, because you have no idea who any of the people in this movie are, unless you know everything about the Thunderbirds, which I absolutely did not. This film is, in my opinion, was not really made for me, so it's not really fair for me to be impartial with a partial viewing of this. But then again, when have I ever said that I'm fair or impartial? That would be never. The only people that I could have seen watching this movie and not hated it, or not at least hated every frame like I did, would be comatose individuals with zero brain activity, or 10-year-old boys who hadn't found the correct position to adjust their genitalia yet to achieve proper self-guided pleasure. Because if they had, there is no possible way that they would spend free time watching this shit nugget of a movie over hours and hours of masturbating in their parents' half bath in their basement, because that is absolutely what they would be doing instead of watching this shit fest of a movie. So, as they say in the movie, like 50 times, Thunderbirds are going to make you, and most importantly me, rage. This movie was so awful. I thought Spy Kids was bad. This movie was worse than Spy Kids 3 that I made you watch.
Yes.
This was terrible. Terrible. Everything in it was terrible. I was like, remember when Ben Kingsley was in Gandhi? Remember when Helen Mirren was in movies that were good? What is going on with these actors as they start to age to make these terrible movies?
Oh, he wasn't that old when this came out.
Well, he was terribly bad. So what does that mean? Did he make Gandhi just before this movie?
No, he made Gandhi.
I guess the
20 years
is,
before this movie, but
did he actually read the script before he agreed to do it? Is what the question I always ask.
I don't know.
Did they read the script first?
I don't know. Maybe he just needed some
cash.
Thunderbirds money.
I think I might watch this. It sounds good.
I don't think you want to see this. I can almost guarantee you don't want to see this.
Really?
Yeah. No, I definitely. What is this?
That's Casey.
All right, we got a choice to make, mister. Not a lot left in Casey's bag. You got balls to watch that, or you want to crawl back to the bosom of the dare bag and hope that we get another meh?
I don't know. You just chose from the dare bag, didn't I? Just choose from the dare bag.
Yeah, but we didn't get to. So if we take the dare bag this week, we have Casey next week. If we take Casey next week, we can choose dare bag or Murray's bag.
Let's go. I don't really want to choose from Casey's bag.
Okay, well, there we're going, dare bag. Next week, it's coming no matter what.
He wants to share the pain.
All right, we are going to...
What are we watching?
Have we watched this already? The Adventures of Ford Fairlane?
Maybe?
I actually own that.
This is awesome. So that means I don't have to go pay for it somewhere. No. I can just borrow Murray's.
I can bring it over if you want.
Nice.
I loved it, but you guys will hate it.
Do you remember seeing this one?
Andrew Dice Clay.
Just Andrew Dice Clay, yeah.
Absolutely most offensive.
Huh.
And the kid from Baywatch.
Yeah, maybe we haven't done this on the show.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Hey, Gilbert Gottfried's in it.
I love Gilbert Gottfried. This is going to be
you
a
go.
Mondo. What are we talking about?
And Vince
The
Neil,
Dare
I think.
Bag's taking us back to Mayville.
That's right, the 80s.
Right? What was his big line, Murray?
I have so many. Most of them are offensive.
Just give me one that's half offensive.
I can't think of any that aren't.
Come on, you're a big Ford Fairlane fan.
Well, I haven't seen it in forever, but yeah, no, he's an asshole. Basically, everything he does.
Nice.
There's one when the girl gets up the morning after they had sex, and it's like, yeah, so I made you make the bed. Who did all the work last night? Something like that.
All right, Ford Fairlane.
He's just offensive.
It's looking fabulous.
It was a different time.
Sounds like it could be marvelous.
It would not be. To his point, he's actually made a few good movies since. He was in. What was he in? One of the.
He does more serious acting.
Yeah,
now.
no, he does serious stuff now, but he got rid of his Dice Clay character, but he's still around. Anyway,
What do you
guys
say,
will love
Bryce?
it. You guys will love it.
Come on, Bryce. Put your stories in the sack.
That's right. But you should just call it. You should title this episode.
This episode is definitely Put Your Stories in the
in
Sack.
the sack.
Well, thanks, Ragers / Sackers, for listening. Thanks, Extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer, the voice of Rage or Dare, or as we like to call him very affectionately, God of Rage. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We always want to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 I'll make us a rage on this for this a week. A rage on.
Rage on.